Hey guys, today we are in the part 8 of the tutorial. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna update Exponent from version 14 to 15. Why I want to make it, it's they use the new React Native version 0.42. So that let us to now use the percentage. So no need anymore React Native extend style sheet. So this is what we're gonna do for starting. After that, we're gonna remove native base. We're gonna update some stuff. So this is what we're gonna do first. First thing, we're gonna search for native base first. Native base. So if you do Shift Command F, you can search over here. I'm gonna look. I get native base here, so I don't need anymore. So I'm gonna remove it. After that, here we import 2 times from the same folder. So I'm gonna take my material icon and I'm gonna put it right there. Perfect. So I'm gonna save. After that, I'm gonna jump to my package JSON. I'm gonna remove native base. And after that here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change this version to be 15. So this is the new version of Exponent. After that, I'm gonna go to Expo JSON. I'm gonna change it to be 15. And now I can run one of the best command I found from with Yarn. It's Yarn upgrade interactive. So if you do this now, update log file upgrade interactive. Yeah, so I'm gonna run Yarn first. Sorry, because I just recloned my repo because I get weird stuff. So what we're gonna use today, it's a redux-form. So this is what I'm gonna install today. It's finally a state manager for your form input finally, and I really love it. So it's like they say, it's the best way to manage your form state in Redux. So now I can run my Yarn upgrade interactive. Perfect. I want to update moment, so I click space. I want to update Expo to be 15.02, and I'm going to update ASLint Quimper, so mine in React Native, and I can click enter. When this one is done, we're going to add redux-form. Second, perfect. So I'm going to yarn add redux-form. Perfect. So now we're gonna jump and start Exponent with X start. Create another terminal with that. First thing, I'm gonna run my backend, yarn dev, because I don't want to get premises not endl. Perfect. Now I'm gonna run x iOS to get my iOS version running. So we're gonna wait, everything is starting. So I'm live coding, so that's why we need to wait. But at least you know like how to make everything, so I want to be sure everyone know everything. So we're gonna get an error from Exponent right now. It's because of the new version, so just to be sure everything is compiling. Yep. So now I get Expo component have been moved to Expo namespace, etc. So what I need to do is here I'm gonna remove, so inside main.js I'm gonna remove component to be at it loading, and now I can remove component here. So they just finally removed the component name. So now I'm gonna refresh, everything gonna work perfect. So now time to work here with the text input who I want now to be running with redux-form. So inside my command folder, I'm gonna create a text input with validation file. So that's gonna be a stateless component. We're gonna take the props coming from redux-form. So here I'm gonna import view from React Native. I'm gonna import from a native element. Gonna import form input, form label, and form validation message, because we're gonna have some validation now. After that, I'm gonna import my colors coming from my constant folder. And now I'm gonna create a stateless component called text input with validation. Here, I'm gonna destroy a lot of props finally. It's something give by redux-form. First one gonna be input. So this is some input value like unchanged and like this stuff. So that we're gonna have container style. That's gonna be the style for the container we're gonna create. So that I'm gonna put label. So this is the label we're gonna give. So finally, like we did on the last episode. After that, here we're gonna get meta. This is coming from redux-form. So we're gonna get touch it. So this is to let know the text input if it have been touched before. So you don't want to show a validation, say text it's not long enough, but the user didn't touch it before. So, and I'm gonna get error too. And finally here I'm gonna get custom. So this is like I'm doing rest operator here, so I get everything from the rest. So here I'm gonna put a view. This view gonna have the style of the container style. And after that, I'm gonna jump with a form label. Oh, not form input, form label. This one gonna have a label for the name. Here, you're gonna have a font family on Montserrat. So finally, what we did in the last episode with the form, but now you're gonna know why I want to make it. I'm gonna make label style, and now I want the label style to have a color that black blue color, a bit more dark. So that here, I'm gonna have my form input, and this one I'm gonna jump with all my input props. I'm gonna have all my custom props, and I'm gonna finish with that. After that here, I'm gonna say if error and that's been touched, I'm gonna show my form validation message. This one gonna show error message, so don't worry, I'm gonna show you how that works, but this is coming from redux-form. Here I'm gonna say font family to be Montserrat again, and the label style to have a color, so that's gonna be an error message. So I think a good red color gonna be good for that. First, and I hope you already know I'm not a designer, so sometimes my style it's not the best. Here I'm gonna run Shift Command D for copy paste my line. I'm gonna double click loading screen. I'm gonna do Command D for get both, and I'm gonna paste with Command V my text input with validation. After that, I'm gonna put a comma here and Command V for text input validation. Perfect. After that, now I have installed redux-form. I need to first thing to add it to my reducer. Oops, not my stop, my reducer. So I'm gonna here import reducer as a form. So I'm gonna give it an alias. And you're gonna know why, because I want to use it with just form. Key value, same. Now I can add like that. Perfect. Now time to work on the Create Meetup. So I'm gonna show you a bug right now, what we get with React Native navigation plus redux-form. I'm gonna import from redux-form. I'm gonna import redux-form in the field. So now I'm gonna add redux-form here. So this is, I'm gonna put the higher order component here, and I'm gonna give a name of create meetup. So here I toggle finally my form reducer, and I give it the name for this form here. All this form gonna have the name of create meetup. So now if I save this now, you're gonna see the error I'm gonna get with React navigation. Now I get my navigation white. Why I got that? Higher order function, navigation, React navigation higher order function, component, sorry, and both don't want to work together. I've put the issue in my README, and I'm not alone. I think you get some stuff coming with this stuff. So the way I found it, I'm gonna put my form inside its own component, and I'm gonna import it in Create Meetup screen. So we're gonna create it. I'm gonna create here inside my create meetup. I'm gonna put a component, a folder called component. Here I'm gonna create the create meetup form.js. So that's gonna be the component we're gonna use for the form of this create meetup. I'm gonna put to a style folder. I'm gonna click rename. I'm gonna do command C for copy paste, and now I'm gonna do a new file, and I'm gonna do command V for pasting, and now I do .js. Here I'm gonna just use ESS to have my style sheet. Here too, I'm gonna create an index.js. I'm gonna take, again, I'm gonna do rename. I'm gonna do command C, and here I'm gonna do import from create meetup form, and here I'm gonna export it, so like we did on other place. And now here create meetup form gonna be a simple stateless component. So you're gonna take React. After that, you're gonna take view coming from React Native. After that, you're gonna take the fill and the redux form coming from redux-form. So that we're gonna have the button coming from React Native element, because you're gonna see why in one moment. So that here I'm gonna import from my common folder. I'm gonna import my text input with validation we just create. I'm gonna import my colors from constant color, and here I'm gonna import the style I'm gonna create right after coming from the style folder and the create meetup form. We just create the file. That's gonna be a stateless component. Create meetup form. This one gonna have a view, and this view now gonna be to replace this view here. So you're gonna have the style container. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy paste style container here from the style coming from the create meetup screen and the item, because I know I'm gonna need it. So I'm gonna copy paste right there. Oh, oh. So now here I'm gonna do view to be a style of style that container. Perfect. After that, now that means I want to get this view with the form. So now I can remove the redux form here. I don't need anymore, like that. So now I want to plug the screen meetup form to with redux form. Because it's not a class, we cannot use the decorator, so I'm gonna connect this one with the old way. Here, that's gonna take an object here with a form, and I'm gonna put the create meetup. So the name I want to give to this create meetup form. And now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna import coming like that from my component folder, and now I'm gonna add the create meetup form right there to replace the container. Now if I do this, nothing gonna really change, but we're gonna have some weird stuff. Yeah, because now we have a container here and another container here. But now don't worry, we're gonna change it. I'm not a designer, but I'm not that bad. So now here what I'm gonna do, this is the way you handle the stuff with redux form. It's you call the field, so this is another HOC, and you put component. So you take a component and we're gonna put text input validation. Because we do this, the text input validation gonna add all the props coming from the field. So all the props I show you in the last file, it's the input and the custom plus the meta with the error and touch. Here I'm gonna say this is what you need to put a title, a name. So if I do this, now you're gonna see what I'm gonna have. Now I have my field with all a label and everything. So now I'm gonna add the label of title, and I can do this because I put a label as a props and I use it here. So now if I show you, I'm getting my title like before, but now if you see the label is a bit darker because now I'm using the black blue colors. After that, in the create meetup now, here I'm gonna add my selection color, so for getting the selection finally red, like before. And now I'm gonna add a container style. Container style, yeah. And I'm gonna put it the style of item. Oops, not uppercase, lowercase. Yes, Lynn, it's really helpful for that. And now we get like the 5% margin we put here from the style right there, the 2% margin. So now I'm gonna take everything, and I'm gonna Shift Command D to copy everything here. I'm gonna keep the component here, but now the name gonna be description, and the label gonna be description, plus this one gonna be multi-line, like before, multi-line. And now if I show you, boom, we have title and description. So what I'm gonna do, just to make it cleaner, I'm gonna go to my screen here and I'm gonna remove both. Perfect. After that, I want now to have my I want to copy paste this one here. I'm gonna copy this one, I'm gonna jump here, and I'm gonna paste here, right there. So now I have my button already imported, but now I need to do my button create inside my style. I'm gonna jump here, I'm gonna do my button create, and I'm gonna just copy paste what we have before inside this one. So now I have both, but now I don't have this function. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just remove it for now. I just want to be sure we got everything. So I'm gonna go here. So now I can remove the button create. I don't need anymore. I don't need item and container anymore here in the Create Meetup screen, not the Create Meetup form. Now here I'm gonna save, but I'm gonna remove this stuff before. Like that. I hope you follow what I've done. It's a video, so at least you can come back, and now as you can see, we have the meetup date right now, but we're gonna figure out, because we're gonna just take it off and we're gonna put it inside the form. So we just finally get everything from the form right there. So the one with for the show, so just this button right there. So I'm gonna take this button and I'm gonna make it right there at the top, and I'm gonna just remove the check title for now and the unpress for now. So now if I do this, I'm gonna remove this one. I'm gonna remove everything container. I'm gonna keep my create meetup form like that. So now if I do, now I get this, but I have no title, and I get back finally where we are before. So now time to add some props to the create meetup form, so we can add we can do stuff here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create meetup, and we're gonna pass this that create meetup function we have from this one here. After that, I'm gonna send show date time picker, and I'm gonna put my this that show date time picker, and I'm gonna put my check title, and I'm gonna put my this that check title. If I do this now, I just need to run to my create meetup form now, and here I'm gonna destructuring, because I'm gonna have some, so I'm gonna do create meetup check title and show date time picker. So now what I'm gonna do, it's inside my button here. What I'm gonna make it, it's I'm gonna put on submit. I'm gonna put the create meetup action. After that, inside my button here, I'm gonna put title to be equal to check title, sorry, and I'm gonna have an unpress even with my show the time picker. So if I do this, we are supposed to come back to where we are before. Title, it's the function. Oh, I know why. here. I'm gonna call my function right there. Perfect. So now pick a date. Perfect. Now it's working again. Perfect. Now okay, that don't looks like nothing really changes. So I have here, and I have my title here, my stuff. So nothing changed. But now what we can do is we can add validation. So here inside my create meetup folder, I'm gonna create a file called validation.js. This one gonna be a function create validation, create meetup validation, gonna equal here, gonna take some values. Here we're gonna start with an empty object of error. Here I'm gonna do const require fields, the s. I'm gonna say for now, I'm gonna say title and description. So this is both field. After that, here what I'm gonna do, it's require fields that we're gonna make a for each, and here we're gonna say fields. I'm gonna do curly bracket, and now what I'm gonna say is if no values to my field. So for each field, what I'm gonna do is say error that fields. So this is key interpolation. So I mean it's with the key here, with the object we pass. So this is the variable we get here from the field. So now I'm gonna say require. So if no value, it's require. After that, here I'm gonna say if value. So value, it's an object with all the value for the from the form. If value that title and, so if we have a value of title and value that title that length, it's smaller than 6. So you remember we need 5. I'm gonna say error that title equal need to be longer. So that I'm gonna say if value that description and value that description that length, it's minus 6.2. I'm gonna say the same error here with description, but I don't want to copy paste both. So what I'm gonna say here is I'm gonna say const longer need longer. I'm gonna put copy paste this one here, and now I'm gonna make like that. I did command D for keep take both. Perfect. And now here, don't forget to return error. So the error object here. Well, now what I can do is go to my create meetup form here at the top here. Now I'm gonna import from validation. I'm gonna import create meetup validation, and I'm gonna put now validate, and I'm gonna put create meetup validation. So this is asynchronous. They're gonna make an asynchronous validation of my field. So now if I show you, I'm gonna click here, but I'm gonna click on the other thing. Now I get require, you see? Because now, if you remember in my text input validation, they say touch and error. I touch, so I get the require. After that, if I start to type, need to be longer. And when it's done, that means I have 6. You can do the same here. Perfect. So now I have some validation. So I think this is just really good for user perspective. So now if you refresh and I don't touch nothing, I have nothing. If I touch, hello, and now I go there, I have no problem. But now if I remove, I need to be longer because you get touch and I have an error. Perfect. After that, from the create meetup form, so coming from redux form, we get some props. We get handle submit. So handle submit, we're gonna pass us all the value from this form. So from this component, so all the value you can see in this form. After that, I'm gonna add invalid. So this is when we have some invalidation, and plus submitting. So submitting means when we submit, we want to we're gonna use it on the button to disable it. So when we submit, we want the button to be disabled to just make it don't reuse anymore. So here, forget the unsubmit. The only thing we need to do is to put handle submit, and I'm gonna put my create meetup in. So handle submit gonna pass all the value to create meetup. After that here, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say disable, and now what I'm gonna do, it's invalid or submitting. So if it's invalid or submitting, so now what we got, it's invalid. So now if I say hello like that, and now if I type 5, perfect, now I get perfect. So now the create meetup form is working. Now that's going to be the time to work with the redux handle to make the stuff, because now we are get almost the same way. And I know I should, so now I can remove this in my create meetup screen. I know I should just keep everything in React finally with the set state, because this application that don't gonna be the next Facebook, and we're gonna use Redux just to get to just to let you know how you can use Redux. And first thing, I'm not the best Redux developer, but I know some stuff about it. So what I'm gonna do, it's here I create my action inside my create meetup, and now I'm gonna import my Meetup API. So if you remember the API we create, the class API we create. So from API. After that, I'm gonna do const Meetup API. Oops, Meetup API. New Meetup API. So I'm gonna initialize my class. Here I'm gonna create after that three action. But now before I do this, I need to add it to my store redux-thunk. So redux-thunk make you available to use dispatch coming from Redux in async way. So I'm gonna do yarn add redux-thunk. The only thing you need to do there is to import thunk coming from redux-thunk. And we're gonna get it when it's done. Perfect. Redux-thunk. Yep. And I'm gonna add it right there with just thunk. No need to call it. After that, I can use what I'm gonna do. So here I'm gonna do, see if you use my snippet, it's RCT to be redux constant, enter, and now I'm gonna type create meetup. After that, I'm gonna do command D to go in the other line. I'm gonna do RCT again. I'm gonna do create meetup success. After that, command D again, RCT create meetup error. So if that doesn't work, so here I'm gonna create my function called create meetup, and this one gonna take some argument. So that's gonna be the argument coming from redux-form. Here I'm gonna do async and dispatch. Dispatch, it's what we have in the store by default when we do this.prep.dispatch, but because we use now the middleware of redux-thunk, we have access of dispatch on an action. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dispatch when I start a type of create meetup. So I'm gonna just handle an action here. After that, I'm gonna run a try and a catch. The catch gonna take an error, but I don't really gonna use it. But here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dispatch. So here I'm gonna return dispatch with a type of create meetup error. Here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna await, because I have async, so I can await now. Meetup dot create meetup group, and I'm gonna put my args. And when it's done, so after it's await, I'm gonna dispatch create meetup success. And now what I want is, so now I create my meetup. I'm gonna show some loading screen, but what I want is after that I'm gonna close my window. So I'm gonna close my model, and I want to come back to the home screen and refetch again. Yes, I can add it with Redux, but I just want to refetch again because I think that's gonna make more sense in the future what I'm gonna make with it. So I know this is maybe not the best practice, but for now I think that's gonna be good. So we're gonna here import from home and action. So we have already created this action. I'm gonna import fetch my meetup, And here, if everything is working, I'm gonna return await dispatch, and I'm gonna dispatch now my function fetch meetup, like that. Perfect. After that, here inside my create meetup, now I can create my reducer for this screen. So I create a reducer for each screen. This is what I do on React Native. From action, I'm gonna import my create meetup error, and my create meetup success. Perfect. Here I'm gonna create a initial state constant, and I'm gonna say error. It's an object with on to be false and a message to be null by default. And now here I'm gonna say is loading to be false by default. After that, here I'm gonna create a reducer or already if you use my snippet, and I'm gonna put initial state here. So if you want to use my snippet in Visual Studio, you go to extension, you type React, and that should be the first one right there, React Native React Redux snippet. After that, here I'm gonna say create meetup. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna return initial state, but is loading to be true. Why I do initial state? It's because, example, I get an error, I want to refetch, my error gonna be true, but I don't want to recreate it, so I'm gonna just the initial state. I'm gonna re-get this back, but now the loading gonna be true. After that, I'm gonna create another case of create meetup success. Here I'm gonna return. Return. Here I'm gonna return with initial state. I don't want to get the error, but now here I'm gonna get is loading to be false. And now finally, when I'm gonna get an error, I'm gonna return. This one's gonna have an error of on to be true, and message error happened. So I'm really good with error. And now I'm gonna say is loading to be false. Perfect. Now inside my index, now what I'm gonna do, it's I'm gonna do command D, shift command D. Here I'm gonna say create meetup reducer, coming from reducer, and I'm gonna import it. Perfect. So now after that, I'm gonna jump to my redux reducer. If you type redux with command P, reducer right there. Now I'm gonna do here create meetup reducer. Now I'm gonna say here create meetup. So each screen gonna have is reducer, create meetup reducer. Perfect. Perfect. This reducer gonna be good. So yeah, the only thing you need to know is, so when I'm gonna create a meetup, the loading gonna be true. After that, when it's success, the loading is false, and if we have an error, we have an error. And if you see in the action, what that means is we get the loading true now, we get the loading false here, we get the loading false here, and if everything is working good, so because here we return, so that break right there, but here we're gonna return fetch my meetup again. Perfect. So now what we need to do is we're gonna jump back to the create meetup screen, and now we're gonna connect this one. So now I'm gonna connect Redux here, and I'm gonna connect here, connect, and I'm gonna open with my state, and I want to get meetup, so this is the name I gave it, to state that create meetup. After that, I'm gonna import my create from action, create meetup, and I'm gonna pass it right there, create meetup. So don't need to dispatch. This is that prep that dispatch. After that, just because I know I don't need anymore, I'm gonna export default at the top. Gonna make less line, export default. Oops, export default. Perfect. So now here, what I'm gonna do, it's now so now what I'm gonna make, it's I want to call my create meetup here and pass my value coming from redux-form redux-form. So now, if you look at it, I don't need any more title and description. This is redux-form and delete for us. After that, we don't need any more change title and change description. Redux-form and delete for us. And now this function now gonna need to change because now we're gonna use redux. So this function, what gonna do? It's gonna await the function this that props that create meetup, and we're gonna pass the value. So I'm gonna pass here value. So that's gonna be the value coming from the redux-form library when we handle submit. And here, when this one is done, so when it's await, I'm gonna do this that props that navigation, and I'm gonna say go back. So the same of when I click the X. So what I say, it's when we finish to create it. So this is a premises. I'm gonna rerun the go back. So I want to came back to the home screen. So after that here, I don't need anymore the title. So just for now, we're gonna keep it really simple, like that. After that here, we need that. This stuff here is good. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do, perfect. So now I think we can try to create. So I'm gonna call this one this is Sunday. Oh, I forget, so I get my require. This is a description. So now I'm gonna create meetup. Oh, I know what I forget. I want to show the loading screen. So what I'm gonna make, it's inside my create meetup now. I'm gonna import from comments, so I don't have it. So I'm gonna import here my loading screen finally. Because maybe now it's easy because we run on localhost, but later if the user have a bad internet connection, we want to have some loading screen, a better UX. Now I can remove my cons Meetup API here and remove the API here too. So that's why I really love ESLint. They show you everything. So here inside my render now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do cons, and so I'm gonna destructuring my props, and I'm gonna destructuring meetup coming from the connect here. So the meetup. What I'm gonna say, it's if meetup that loading. So if it's loading, is loading. I'm gonna return a view and my loading screen. So I'm gonna put the view of style root. So everything. So we're gonna take all the place. Else if meetup that error that on. So if the error is true, the on, I'm gonna show here a view with the style of root again, but here I'm gonna put a text of meetup. Oops. Meetup error message coming from the store, and here I forget to return, like that. Perfect. So I think now we can start to create it. I'm gonna open my server who run, so I cannot click on it. Perfect. Can I now? I don't know what happened. Okay, I get it. So now I'm gonna run my this is Sunday new description. This is a description. Now if I click my green meetup, and I get nothing. So what happened, I should have forget to put my create meetup on my create meetup form. So in my create meetup screen, I've put my create meetup, perfect. But now I need to put it, no, I put it, but this is no more on submit, this is on press. Sorry, too much web. Here, this is Sunday. This is a description. Now if I create meetup, boom, you see, now just because it's too fast, but the loading finished, and now I get this is Sunday now, because as you can see, I pause, I get a 201, and now I get a 200 on the get. So I get this is Sunday. We're gonna do another one. This is Monday. If I type A, oh, requires good. This is a description. Quit Meetup. Perfect, it's working. 200, 201, and now I get this is Monday. Perfect. So this is good for now. For this part here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump on my backend because I just want to remove one thing. It's inside my server, inside my module, inside my group, inside my control, my model. What I want to do is we're gonna change one thing I've seen. So I made an error. It's inside my model here in my backend. What I'm gonna do, it's now I'm returning the group, but I don't really need it. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make away this file. I'm gonna remove the group here. I'm gonna send my meetup. That's it, nothing more. And now inside my controller, I don't need anymore to return finally the group here. I just need to return my meetup. Perfect, because I don't really use it. Now, just for testing, I'm gonna do this is Saturday. And now this is another description. And now if I create meetup, everything is not really working. But now at least we get less to do with the the code from the get, because think about it, we refetch every time we create again. So I just want to make it cleaner. So that's gonna be good for today. In the next video, we're gonna start to use the Facebook logging. So we're gonna make a Facebook authentication. Plus, I'm gonna show you, I think, my best new library I found. It's style component. I really love it. That let you to use so many. That let you use the same almost CSS of in the web and in the native, and that one on React Native. So that's gonna be awesome. So I hope you enjoy. If you like it, click the like button. Please subscribe and share with your friend if you like it. Just told me in the comments if you have any question, and if I did something wrong, told me too. And I'm gonna put all the code on my repo. So in my repo, this is YouTube Meetup React Native right there. And I'm gonna put it in the description again. So have a good night and take care. Bye.